Welcome to Players Parlor, where we talk and play games while you can play along with us. You can also just listen to us, of course, naturally. This week we're doing Coffee Talk episode number 2. Episode 1 used to be available on Game Pass, but they've since decided to remove that. So we're doing episode 2 today. And with me is a coffee enthusiast and coffee lover and overall coffee expert, Scarlett Dawn. Scarlett, want to introduce yourself?
Hello there, everyone. My name is Scarlett Dawn as a nickname, but my real name is Flavia. I'm a Transylvanian vampire, as I come from Romania, and I'm only a coffee expert partially because during the pandemic, as my boyfriend and I were closed off in the house, we really craved coffee, so we bought ourselves an espresso machine, a simple Lelit Anna. And from there, I started learning about coffee and how to do latte art and stuff like that. And I even got a tattoo of that eventually. It's like a coffee bag with the coffee plant and fruit, I guess, and a bear paw as a symbol, so to say, of my brand, let's say. Sure. And the bear paw represents my boyfriend.
See, she says she's not that much of an expert, but she can make coffee around. She can make coffee circles around all of us. Okay, so the reason we chose Coffee Talk is because it's an indie game. It's a good indie game from what I've heard. I've never played it, of course, and it's one of Scar's favorite games, if I'm not mistaken. Though she did tell me that she prefers episode 5, if I'm not wrong.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. You prefer this one?
Well, I like both of them because they're about the same kind of gameplay loop, and it's more of a visual novel than anything else. And the first game was actually mostly made by one dev with the help of a second or third person who unfortunately died last year, I think, or 2 years ago.
Oh,
so
no.
The others, like the lead developer died 2 years ago from some health complications, I think. So the rest of the team continued and created Coffee Talk 2.
Oh,
and
damn. See, this is why I brought Scar on, because she does that kind of research and remembers it. I can go and read that and I'll forget it by the time I play the game. When was Coffee Talk 1 released?
Coffee Talk 1, I think, was like 2019 or something like that. Let me check on that.
Oh, it's pretty old, actually.
Okay, 2020.
2020.
Yeah, Coffee Talk 1 was 2020, yeah. And Coffee Talk 2 was the next year, I guess, in last year released.
You know, I'll get back to that. I'm finding it very depressing that this newspaper is so relevant to my life right now.
Yeah, those clips are very interesting, and they have nice stuff to read about if you're patient. Yeah. So you're meeting Officer George, which is a recurring character. He was there from the other game as well. In Coffee Talk, you're basically...
Is it Georgie?
I don't know how to pronounce.
I think it's Georgie. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of recurring characters in this game, and I think that's one of the reasons people probably like it so much, because it's not like some of the other games where you've got to make food and the customers are just anonymous, know nothing, you don't know them. They're each, as you said, it's a visual novel, so each character, each customer has a story to tell. And if I'm not mistaken, what you do can affect how the characters interact with each other as well.
Yeah, some of the recurring characters in Coffee Talk 2, you actually help them in Coffee Talk 1. Like you're gonna meet a couple, which in Coffee Talk 1 were having issues with the relationships because they were of different races. In Coffee Talk, there are supernatural beings that are perfectly accepted that live alongside humans. And you're a barista, so you listen to people and try to serve them drinks that make them happy or make a connection between them. And you will meet new characters, but the other ones will be part of Coffee Talk too, and you can see like what happened after the first game.
Oh, so it's like a continuation of the happily ever after. That's kind of nice. I like that. Also, Leroy
Yes, but
just poked his nose up to me and
the,
he said he wanted attention. So I've got to play this with one hand at the moment.
you can play this game mostly with one hand, so it's not a problem.
Perfection. Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna have to like triple task here because my coffee is also gonna get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cold coffee is not good unless it's cold brew.
oh yeah, I don't know how to make cold brew. Anyway, how much talking do we do in this game, by the way?
Because it's a visual novel, you do quite a lot of it, and the gameplay part, which is like making drinks, is a bit just there to go along with the talking.
Just to not make
which
it
I actually
monotonous.
prefer.
Oh.
Yeah, though, like I recently finished a game called Pixel Cafe, in which most of the game is gameplay more than the story itself. And I actually got super bored of just doing the same repeated gameplay because in Coffee Talk you have like 2 weeks in which you can follow the story and do some things. And the game has several endings actually, like for your characters that you meet.
Oh.
You can influence their story if you don't do the right things, or if you do some good things like their events and then some bad things. So you can get like bad ending, neutral, good ending, so to say.
Okay. See, I thought
And the
it
game
was.
actually encourages you
I thought it
to
was
do
pretty
that.
linear with only the how the characters react being different, but I thought the endings would have all been the same. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, though, of course, in Coffee Talk 2, like the recurring characters, you'll meet them with the best case scenario of their story in the first game. Like in the first game, the couple I told you about that were different races and their families didn't want to get them together. You can make it so they do not get together, they fall apart. But
Oh.
here, they are together doing marriage and stuff like that.
So it's not as complicated as the AAA games would be. Like, oh, let's load your saved file.
No, the game actually lets you, like when
Oh.
you finish the 2 weeks, you can reload a day you've played and do different
Yes,
choices
yes,
and
yes.
redo the timeline, so to say.
Okay, that's also kind of nice. And I noticed that on the main menu, it's got an endless mode. So is that like endless story or just endless brewing?
Endless brewing. Because
Endless
like
brewing.
you get the characters as customers and they tell you initially directly what they want and then tell you like, I want something a bit cold, a bit hot, and a bit bitter. And you need to figure out the drink like that. When you get to the gameplay, you'll see what I mean by a little cool, a little bitter, a little cold.
Yeah, I'm noticing that
It's a pretty fun one.
it's almost like you're at a bar instead of like a barista or just a normal barista, because the baristas I know are all so busy usually. They don't have time to even say hi most of the time. They're just like making coffee, and then as soon as that one's done, they make the next coffee.
See, there's the thing. You the barista have your coffee shop open at night, which coffee shops don't usually do that. So you get a different crowd than if you were like in the morning rush or something like that. So you do have time to talk with your customers.
Leroy finally went to lie down. Yeah, you see, that I would actually kind of love that. New teas, I'll leave the choice up
Yeah.
to you and
So
just keep it simple. Okay. Uh,
yeah, this is, see, here is what I told you about warm, cool, sweet, bitter. Like
yeah.
in endless mode, and when you select ingredients, you get some little dots under warm or cool. You need
So
to click on thingy. Yeah.
I've just got to check, make sure. Okay, so primary cinnamon. So it
Yeah.
says, yeah, okay, let's go cinnamon. And secondary would be milk, because you can't have cinnamon in
Yeah,
coffee
but
without milk.
this is not simple. for example. You made something complicated. You made something with 3 ingredients.
Okay. So it would
Because
just
he
be
says, keep it simple.
tea and milk.
Or just espresso. Yeah. You
He
also
wants
need
one
to
of the
put
new.
double milk.
He wants he wants one of the new teas. So I'm gonna give him milk and tea, I guess. I do love these little animations. This is very nice. Yeah. Latte art.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking
These
at
are
this
your
like
options.
it's so much simpler. I'm actually kind of loving it. Because I saw
It's very simple.
I think I saw a different coffee game recently that was you had to like keep track of 20 different things and you had to like use exact movements. I gave the wrong coffee. Going from the achievements.
Okay. Yeah. You learn this in the other game, but he usually likes a straight espresso, for example. And only sometimes asks for something lighter. And I think he's lactose intolerant.
Okay, yeah, so no milk for him. But of course, I would have to play through the first one to learn that one, as you say.
That, yes. But also, yeah, you kind of have to play both of them because you have these recurring characters, so you miss part of their story by not playing the first game. And both games are pretty short. Like, I think you can finish them pretty fast. Like, I finished the first game in 6 hours.
6 hours?
And the second but the second I finished it in 13 hours with all achievements.
You see, this is where I think Scarlett and I think most of my listeners would probably be the same. It's 6 hours for an indie game is actually quite long. 13
and then they made the second game. I made it double.
Yeah, 13 hours is insane for an indie game. I mean, I finished Prey. Like I said, that's the next review I'm doing. I finished Prey. By the time this episode releases, the Prey review will be up. I finished Prey in 7.5 hours. So this indie game is longer than a AAA game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Prey is that short?
Prey is that short, yeah. And I got the best ending.
I thought for sure it was longer for some reason.
That's kind of something that I'm touching on in the review, and I know why it felt longer. But anyway, back to 13 hours for an indie game is really amazing, especially a pixel indie game. Moved and dice. I'm not reading what he's saying. I
really do like pixel games.
I'm not reading what he's saying, but I'll replay the game from start. Off when we're not doing a video podcast.
Well, here he's telling you about a case of vandalism in the area, and that you, the barista, should be careful with your car to not have like tires popped or stuff happening to it. And he's thinking it's ghosts.
I'm assuming ghosts are real in this world, seeing as a guy with goat horns just walked in.
Supernatural beings are a part of this world, and many of your customers are also supernatural beings of
I
some
genuinely
sort.
thought it was like orcs and elves and not like further than that as well either. So this is basically like every isekai world but with a cafe.
Yeah, you could look at it like that, but it's in Seattle, I think.
Of course, Seattle actually, I would not be surprised if Seattle actually does have beings like this in it.
Yeah, there are many stories with vampires about Seattle.
See, it's this Transylvania of the US after all.
Maybe.
I mean, I know what's that place down south thinks it is, but this is the Transylvania. of the US. Oh my word! I'm trying to read and talk, and my mind is just. This is definitely a game that I want to play on a rainy day, though. I'm gonna put this on auto.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, as I have a Steam Deck, I really like playing this like in bed and just staying there and playing it slowly because it has really simple controls. As someone that never grew up with consoles, I'm a very noob person at the controller. So anything with complicated controls, I say a nope and play it on my PC. But this is very simple.
I have to be honest. I'm pretty much the same as well. I think I prefer easier controls on the console. That's why I like racing games on the console and not on the PC, because it's actually the opposite. On racing games on the PC becomes complicated and then easier on the console. And it's weird that I can play this game with just one button though. That's or just a mouse. It's genuinely I've never played a PC game like that.
Yeah, like the Pixel Cafe game I mentioned earlier. On PC, you can literally play it with just your mouse and enter. That's all.
Yes.
But on the Steam Deck, you have to push all the buttons, all of them. And I got overwhelmed in seconds. And I was like, okay, I'm not playing this on the Steam Deck because I'm going to get real mad about it.
And
Because
the
you have
Steam
to
Deck.
do 1,000 things.
Oh, that does not sound fun at all. And I'm assuming these
Yeah.
kinds of visual novels are pretty much perfect for the Steam Deck, though.
Yep, indeed. Like for someone that's used to a controller, probably the Pixel Cafe controls are pretty fine. But for me, it was too much.
Okay. Please talk me through this. What the hell is a matcha? And I know he wants a matcha
The
latte.
matcha? No, he just wants a matcha. So you select the green tea and put it 3 times.
Oh.
And you brew it.
See
You
everyone?
do get
This is why we've got Scar with us, because I would not have been able to do that. I would have made a massive mistake.
like you have a little cell phone in the left. If you click on it, you will get the recipes, like the
Oh.
brew pad. You get the recipes you make, and you can learn from here what ingredients make what drink. See, like that.
Okay,
And you
that's
also have the
actually.
Tomodachi, which is like an Instagram app.
I actually love that. Running your timeline 24/7.
Yeah, and here you can see what the people you meet in the cafe do and post, because you also have the stories tab in Tomodachi, and that's where you see like an Instagram list
Look at
like
that.
that. And you can like them.
This is
Yeah.
genuinely
And
amazing.
mhm.
I'm just gonna like all of them.
Yeah, that's what I do as well.
I'm one of those people that do that in real life as well. Like if my friends are on my feeds, I like all of them. Oh, he's got 2 SIM cards. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Back to this game. It's got a lot of like small mechanics as well. And genuinely, if just this view right here, right? If there were no speech bubbles and people were just coming in and out and like the coffee was being served, I would probably have that on Wallpaper Engine. Genuinely, I would love to have that on Wallpaper Engine.
Oh yeah, that would make a good game probably, because it would be simple and chill.
Just it's one of those things that I really appreciate about modern pixel games, because I think a lot of people remember them with a bit of nostalgia. But I was you were also there in like the late 90s and early 2000s. Pixel games didn't used to have all of these small details. Like a lot of them were pretty bland at times. Like you could do some things here and there, but at times you would just go like, "Oh, can I go? Can I go over there? Can I go over here?" And it was always just not really. You're pretty much stuck with what the developers want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
games like this with the small details and everything in them, and like just the rain in the background, that didn't used to be as common.
well, this is like, I guess, modern pixel art.
Mm,
Because back then, most games were pixel art because there was no technology better than that
Mm.
until it got made. So probably that's why. But when you look at the character itself, you wouldn't say this is a pixel art game. But when you look
Definitely
at the
not.
rest
No.
of the setting, it is a pixel art game.
I mean, if I saw this on a screen across the room, I probably would have thought, "Oh yeah, that guy's playing a good-looking anime game."
Mm-hmm. Or just a visual novel, which are usually anime games or anime art. Like,
I have to confess here. I think this is the first visual novel I've played since 2017.
and what did you play in 2017?
Well, I played Katawa Sojo because it was for free,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a different kind of visual novel than this is, with a lot of different things in it.
Mm-hmm. I think I've only played before this. I only played actual anime-like visual novels, like with the setting of a school and guys and girls and relationship and stuff like that. So
That's
this was a bit an elevated kind of visual novel, in my opinion.
it's a bit more. I want to say nice and grown up. You know, it's a relaxed
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
It's that is something that I'm starting to see a trend in pixel art games specifically as well. Not yet like normal like proper AAA games, but a lot of these pixel art games are becoming like you can see these games are made by people above 28 for people above 28. They're not as I want to say childish or immaturely focused. They're more like this is what life
See,
is and this is what people want to play.
see, if they're 28 plus year olds, they are people from our generation. So,
Mm, mm,
as you said, if they grew up in the late 90s or early 2000s, when pixel art games were different, when they grew up and had to make games, they wanted a different kind of pixel art from what they grew up with. There's actually a couple here in the game that's a recurring character where
mm.
you have two developers, like a chick, an orc person that works for a big company, and then a small indie dev that in the other game she was trying to build confidence to go to a convention and make a game and show off her game.
Wow,
And
that's
they get together here at the cafe as they get to know about their common interest in game making.
that's actually pretty damn interesting and very topical. Because
Yes.
I think running Stickman needs to like go to a cafe like this pretty soon. Uh,
He needs to go to conventions
oh,
or
he's gone to
something.
conventions last year all the time, but he's like, I'm pretty sure at some of those conventions he was avoiding people.
Oh, well, that's quite kind of counterintuitive when you're trying to maybe promote your game or show it off or something like that.
Although I need to get his game on the one of the future episodes of the podcast because it launched.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get. We're so off. I keep going off topic and I don't know why. Who the hell is that? She looks awesome
She is a new character. Yeah, she is the person on the splash
on the
art
splash screen.
on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Steam,
That
and
genuine
she's really
is.
nice.
She looks freaking amazing though. I can't figure out why her pupils are in entire eyes. Are we
You'll
gonna
find
find out?
out.
Okay, I'm back. Where did I leave? I did not know that I leave.
Yeah, you went to put the electricity back on. Due to the storm, it fell down, so you went behind the building
Okay.
to fix it.
Okay. Yes. Wow. this game is just a vibe. Like this is one of the first times in the podcast where I kind of just want to sit and play and watch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So soothing. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of dead air that we just gave. So, do you know since the lead developers unfortunately passed away, they're going to make a next one?
I actually don't know that part. If they want to make a third one yet, since this was released late last year, I think.
It would be
So
pretty...
she wants a blue pea latte. So you get blue pea and milk twice, I think.
Okay, let me just... I mean, we can probably check.
But I don't think you've made this before, so
No.
you do not have the recipe for it.
But I can see lattes are double milk, yes, okay.
Yeah, that. And you'll also have to make some art on it.
Oh, is this another mini game? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a slight one. You pour milk, the top left one, and you just you just do that, and it's fine. You paint on it. You don't actually need to make pretty and like a real one. You can just play with it, and it works as latte art.
Smiley.
Exactly.
With a big nose. Done.
Yeah. You can go done and serve it.
Beautiful. Okay. It's social media worthy. I seriously doubt that. You know, that's kind of the same reaction I would have if someone gave me a blue drink.
Yeah, but you asked for a blue pea latte. It's in the name. Why would you be surprised?
Listen, if I asked for blueberries and someone gave me an actual blue thing, I would be pretty confused.
Oh, well, fine.
The facial expressions are so well done.
Mm-hmm. They actually do catch well some expressions that actually convey emotions.
Yeah, and it's... I don't know how to describe it. It used to be, I want to say, kind of monotone in a lot of pixel art games where it was the same 5 or 6 expressions, but I can see that they genuinely paid attention to each section of the game to give them different expressions, and it's very nice.
Yeah, it gives personality to each character, like their own personality, not just same-ish, same, so to say. Because like this guy, Lucas, he's like basically a celebrity, so and a pretty successful one. So he is a bit smug about himself, and he's popular, so he knows either people know him or he's been successful enough that he can be smug about it.
Which is actually pretty nice. I like it. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, this is where you can see the written your history of chatting with the people if you want to.
We still don't know the lady's name. Okay.
Nope. She needs to introduce herself.
She's just sitting there staring at us every now and then. You know,
She's listening to the conversation.
This is the first time I've ever actually been on this side of like serving anything, and it's genuinely freaky because I'm usually the guy that just like stares straight ahead, and now I know why the baristas and people are always just like asking if I'm okay.
Well, if you think about it, if you go alone at a coffee shop and you sit down and have a coffee, you can listen in to the chatter of the other people in the room. So it's not that unusual that she stays on her phone, puts it down, then just listens to what others are talking about. So sometimes you get little bits of conversation that might pique your interest.
I just really hope though that
And maybe
when we do it, we're not this obvious, Carl.
I'm gonna sidetrack a bit this. In university, I don't exactly remember why. We went and visited one of our teachers from another year. We were like a friend of mine. We were third years, and we went to a teacher that was from the second year, and he was having an exam in a big amphitheater. I think that's how you spell it. And he was really an older professor, but he really had the sense of humor. And
Mm-hmm.
we were talking, and then he was like, "I'm over here," and then he was like, "Look from my point of view, like him as a professor, to the other students," and you could see who was cheating so clearly, and I was like, "Holy shit!" So you let us cheat actually, because you can see like people don't just look at their crotch area and
And
stare at it and then start writing for no reason whatsoever because they found inspiration there or something, or people that had ear well, not earbuds. You could put a kind of earbud like a magnet that would go inside your ear and work as an earbud, but it's
mm-hmm.
invisible,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see some gestures about it, like you could have code to, like, if you tap twice, I don't know, repeat the answer or whatever the other person was telling you in it and stuff like that, and it was so obvious, and I was like, oh my god, my whole world is different now.
You see,
Because you change perspective, right?
we had a teacher that used to say, "It's like, listen, children, no one looks down at their crotch and then laughs." So we know when you're on
Yeah,
your phone. Though I
yeah,
don't
pretty
think
much.
I don't think I've ever seen like students from the teacher side. I've always just been a student.
Yeah, that's why it just happened because we went to, I really don't remember why, and he was doing the exam and he just showed us like how it looks during an exam when he's down there and York, like it was an inclined amphitheater, amphitheater. So you could
Amphitheater.
really see what people do.
Makes
See, she
sense.
was
Makes sense.
listening in on the conversation.
Oh yeah, she was definitely listening, and she like had facial gestures and everything. I don't think I'm ever going to discuss something private in any public place ever again in my life.
Indeed, indeed. See? Changing perspectives, seeing stuff from another angle. This is how it helps you. Because as you said, you've never thought how it is on the other side of the bar. Because it would be the same not only in a coffee shop, like in a bar, in a pub or something. And the bartender gives you a drink and you just sit there at the counter and drink and talk or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Also, it's really kind of making me want to buy a small coffee shop and open it only at night.
Well, you would have, I mean, depending on your area, of course, you could have a crowd, well, not a crowd, customers, because there are people that work nights, like delivery people, with one of them, or emergency care people, hospital people, and such. They do have night shifts. Anyone that has a night shift might need a coffee, but all coffee shops are closed because it's
Yeah,
night.
I mean, it would definitely have to be in Gauteng where I live somewhere because every other province in South Africa is they close at like 4 and then nothing happens. Though I think I might prefer like Romania or something, not in South Africa.
Yeah, I think
Because
coffee shops kind of close at 4 here, and then you just have, pardon, restaurants and pubs.
oh no, that sucks. I'm the kind of guy that would actually also go to one of these places if they like open at like 11 p.m. at night. So I would definitely be there, just like chilling, drinking coffee.
Mhm. Well, to be fair, restaurants and pubs do serve coffee, but Well, it's not specialty coffee like you'd get in a proper coffee shop.
Yeah, it's not the same, eh? It's just not the same. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I've
At
got
least I noticed the difference.
yeah. Yeah, I do too. Especially some pubs here in South Africa don't serve coffee at all. Or if they do, they'll serve you instant coffee.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, that's and
Well,
didn't.
it's ew for me, but my parents are the kind that really grew up drinking instant coffee, and that's all they drink as coffee. Though for a while, my mother did drink espresso because my brother bought her a cheap but pretty okay espresso machine, but she went back to instant coffee because it was just simpler to do.
Nah, see, I don't. Actually, I think at my household we did drink only instant coffee until I was like 16 years old. And when we started
Mm-hmm.
switching to proper pot coffee, it was like, yeah, no, we're done. Instant coffee can take a hike. Though you did also mention earlier you want to get a mocha pot, right?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a mocha pot because so last month we bought a house in the countryside, so
Oh,
where we plan
did you
to
finally
stay
get
from
it?
time to time. Yeah, we got it.
Congratulations,
That's why I have
Carl!
now. Yeah, thank you, thank you. It also came with 4 cats and 2 dogs, so there's
That's
that.
brilliant news.
Yeah. So for that, because we're not gonna start again. I mean, we need to buy stuff because it came empty, basically. So you have to buy like a bed and furniture and appliances. For now, I was looking into getting a mocha pot to try that and see if we like it or not. So I was researching a bit in what brand or style to get, and I needed to work on induction.
Oh yeah, the induction ones are pretty iffy at times. But a mocha pot is like I hope you realize a mocha pot is almost more work than your espresso machine.
I mean, from the videos I looked for like a recipe, it looks pretty simple. Like you put water in the bottom pot, you put ground coffee in the basket, you rotate it and put it on
Yeah,
uh,
that's the
the
easy part.
oven.
What those videos never show is the afterwards. Because you've got to clean it before
The
you put
cleanup.
in the next one. Yeah, because I know with an espresso machine, you just unpack it and spray steam through a little bit, and you're basically done, right? To make the next espresso
Hmm.
pot, to make the next mocha pot, you need to clean the entire thing each time. You can't just throw out the puck and then put in new grounds and go like that. So you've got to
Hmm.
unscrew it all,
I,
wash it all out, clean the
oh,
filters. Not you don't have to use soap. You can just use like clean water. What is this lady doing? Is she a banshee?
she's a banshee. Yes,
Oh my word. She's still cool looking, but she's kind of really scary now.
she is. She is. She got triggered about something Lucas said because she
Uh,
wanted to be a soprano.
oh
But
my word.
sopranos are mostly taken by not roles are taken by another race because they're like prettier and they sing better, and she has a different tone of voice than a classic soprano, so to say.
That's so rude of whoever told her she can't be a banshee. Oh, she can't
Yeah,
be a
because
soprano.
she's a banshee. Yeah.
Actually, I think a banshee would make a
So,
great soprano.
mhm.
Okay, anyways, yeah,
Because they
that's.
don't always. Yeah, he switched the spot
Okay, that's great
for no particular
storytelling.
reason.
Yeah, for no particular reason. Totally not because the lady to his right was entirely scary.
Hmm. Yeah. So yes, I'm looking into Mokapot, and I'll make sure to take your words for it that you actually need to clean it very thoroughly and wash the parts.
Yeah, because if you
Because yeah,
if
with an espresso machine, you just take the pack from the porta filter, you throw it, you clean it with a towel, and you're done. And every few uses, you wash it as well, because you don't want to get bits of coffee stuck there.
Yeah, because with the mocha pot, you need to wash out the top bit where the coffee comes out, and then you on the bottom of that there's a filter which you've got to clean off as well. Then there's the little filter inside that you need to take the puck out of, and then there's always some water that dripples back down into the actual container that you also need to wash out. It still makes fantastic coffee. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic coffee. But I bought all the mocha pots that I have is for just a single person because I live alone, right? But when my father comes to visit, he also drinks mocha. When he sees me, he's like, "Listen, I want a mocha pot. Give me some mocha coffee." And I love making it for him. The problem is, each time I make mocha coffee now, it takes me like half an hour because I've got to make the mocha pot each time, and it only makes 1 cup at a time. So you get bigger ones that can make two cups at a time. So if you know your boyfriend's going to want one every time as well, I would recommend getting one of the larger ones.
Yeah, I was looking at the one with 4 cups for 4 cups. And that's like 200 milliliters. And since we drink it with milk usually, that seems like the right amount for us.
Oh yeah,
because I got
be so much
from
better.
IKEA. Yeah, from IKEA I got for like €2 a small little electric foamer for milk, and it actually works pretty great for on the go.
As those little ones that turn around and spin, right?
Yeah, like literally that. It has a battery, and it was like €2, and now I even got it for less than €2, I think.
Those are fantastic. I want to get myself one of those as well because every now and then I only drink black coffee, but every now and then a little bit of frothy milk would be fantastic, you know.
Yeah, and like you can use it to make hot chocolate for that matter.
Ooh,
so it's not like single use only for like, or if you want as a matcha latte, you make a matcha latte like that, or you want your black tea with some frothed milk, you put it in that as well.
Ooh,
and it works.
Now you're making me want some more coffee with some frothy milk on top.
I mean, you didn't say you made. You're welcome.
I don't have milk or the froth, and now you're making me want to go buy both.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. The Transylvanian vampire that loves garlic always makes everybody want coffee. It's not fair.
Yeah, I keep telling you the stuff about us not liking garlic. It's actually fabricated because we like to have some garlic flavor in our drinks.
These garlic flavored drinks? You're not going to tell me there's garlic flavored coffee, right?
I'm sure there is somewhere. I've eaten garlic ice cream and it was amazing, like amazing. Delicious.
That cannot be true. I refuse to believe that.
I've also eaten bread ice cream, and that was also pretty interesting and good. And weird, but good.
We haven't made a coffee in quite a while. I've just realized this. In the game, we haven't made a coffee in quite a while.
Yep, as I said, the gameplay is a bit less in this game, and it's just there to take you along the ride, and it's mostly a visual novel. But the drinks are important, as you saw. They influence the people.
This would be a fantastic game to stream if you've got like 4 or 5 streamers able to do each voice.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Like actual voice acting, because this doesn't have voice acting.
But it would be fantastic with just some voice acting. In fact, if they made this like an animated pixel series, I would watch it. Because it's got the style for it, you know.
It's pretty nice. That could work pretty well. And now you have a name for her. She's Riona.
Riona. That's actually a nice name. I kind of like it. Brains only.
And she's very cool, in my opinion.
That looks so cool too.
The art is very nice in this game.
It's stunning, honestly. Okay, you just came in. Did she leave? She left. Yeah.
Yeah, she left.
Okay.
Because she's a delivery driver at night.
Deliveries at night. That's got to be only food, right?
I think that was mostly it, but she was doing other kind of deliveries, and she actually enjoys driving around the city.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy driving around?
Well, since I've started recently driving a lot more, I'm not really enjoying it, and I noticed I swear a lot more
Yeah,
while driving.
that's what happens when you drive during traffic. If you don't drive during traffic, it's very nice.
Oh, actually, no. Even when it goes very nicely and there's mostly no cars around. There's just that one idiot that puts the brake down without having anything in front of his car, and you're like, what? Why did you brake in front of me with no reason whatsoever that I can see, aside from 80% of people sitting on their phones while driving, which is stupid, but oh well.
You get used to it. You get used to it. I promise you. As in, like, you expect other people's
I
stupidity.
hope so.
Also, I think that has been enough coffee talk for today, by the way.
Okay.
Because I think this is a good time to explain this as well. I've shortened the podcast episode from 2 hours to just under 1 hour, because I feel like 40 to 50 minutes is a perfect time for most games, actually, just to get like that initial start out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you might also play games that are quite short.
Yeah, like what was it? Firewatch. Like, we basically finished Firewatch, and I didn't actually plan on finishing Firewatch entirely. I thought we would only get about halfway, and then that first episode was the entire Firewatch, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can happen.
I'll do a quick outro, and you can say goodbye as well. Okay. Thanks everyone for Coffee Talk. As you can see, we did Coffee Talk the game, and we talked about coffee during our podcast episode as well. This is genuinely a game, as Scar said, that's very relaxing, and as I've noticed as well, it's a very relaxing game. It's a visual novel. It'll take you 13 hours to get all the achievements, but Scar is also an achievement hunter. She did show me that she got all the achievements this morning for it, so 13 hours if you're an achievement hunter. I'll probably try and finish the game one playthrough, and tell everyone in the comments how long it took me to just finish one normal run. Scarlett, want to say goodbye?
Yep. Thank you for having me, Sock. It was very nice. It was my first time doing this, so I hope I did great. If not, oh well.
You did fantastic.
You won't invite me again?
I'll definitely invite you again, because as I said on Discord chats, I am planning on doing a Hogwarts Legacy playthrough of episode of Players Parlor podcast, and I'm pretty sure Scarlett's going to be pretty mad if I don't invite her for that one.
Maybe. Not like I 100% that game either.
I totally didn't 100% that. Neither did I. It's totally not 100% it. Okay, everybody, thank you
next podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Players Parlor podcast. It should be episode 6 if my count is right. I hope all of you have a lovely day, and that I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.